Then at the end of my first year, Irwin Walters, His Majesty's Inspector of Music in Wales, was about to run the very first youth orchestra that was ever invented, the National Youth Orchestra of Wales. And they had plenty of string players, a harpist who was going on to an international career, heavy brass, trumpets and trombones from the brass band world, virtually no horn players, very few woodwind players. So he came up to London to recruit students from the various colleges and said, would you like to have 2 weeks playing music all the time and it won't cost you anything? I said, yes, please, not knowing that he had gone to another college, the Guildhall School of Music, looking for a flute player. And a certain Nancy Sweet was recommended, but when she went home and mentioned it, her mother was very doubtful. So Irwin Walters took the trouble to go out to South London to talk to Nancy's parents and persuade them that it was all right. And so she went down to Wales on a different train, and when we started rehearsing, I noticed this flute player and decided I wanted to know more about her. And for the last 73 years, that's what I've been doing. It became quite obvious to us and to everybody around us that we were going to be together. And those orchestral courses were wonderful. We had a cellist looking after all the strings, and Archie Camden, the bassoonist, looking after all the woodwind, brass and percussion. And even though that seems very primitive today when you have separate coaches for all the different departments, it taught us how to approach new music that we hadn't seen before. And it was tremendous. We were streets ahead of our fellow students, simply because we'd had this fortnight in Wales. And we finished up with doing some concerts, including one, Merthyr Tydfil, a children's concert during the day in the cinema. And we were playing the first movement of the New World Symphony at Dvorak when there was a power cut, and everything went pitch black. And it's amazing how far the orchestra did get, but gradually it petered out. And then there was a silence, and some of the children in the audience started to get a bit restive. And so somebody shouted, "Play the national anthem," which of course was not the British national anthem, but the Welsh. And everybody settled into playing and singing the Welsh national anthem. And the lights came on eventually. Clarence Raybould was the conductor at the Academy of the First Orchestra, where it appeared to me that he was being told, you must make a good concert at the end of term, rather than being told, you've got a bunch of students here who need to learn as much as possible about the repertoire. When he got to Wales, he became a different person and was relaxed, enjoyed being there, and we enjoyed working for him. And the whole concept of the orchestra was so revolutionary. And incidentally, there was a lady sitting at the side of the gymnasium where we were rehearsing for 2 or 3 days of that very first course. It turned out to be Ruth Randall, who founded the National Youth Orchestra 2 years later, and always reckoned that hers was the first youth orchestra. But we knew otherwise.